Right, that's a question on the United Kingdom for Scott. Rishi Sunak warned the country that the next few months will be tough because of what?
It's inflation, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
Which we are now at the highest rate of inflation in any European country, which, coming off the back of Eurovision, we're on a roll. We are. It feels nice to be in the lead with something, doesn't it? And we're now at 9.1, which is stronger alcohol content than a can of special brew. So I'm not an economist, I can't even say it. Of course I'm not. But I think when the cost of living surpasses, I've lost all credibility now. But
You've proved your point in many ways, Scott.
I think when it surpasses the special brew index, we've got problems. But I think, just to say, I think it is the cost of living, obviously, that it's a difficult time for everyone. Myself, I've just bought a smart meter, or as I like to call it, the anxiety portal. Which, if anyone's listening or watching out there and going to just live in denial, don't do it. You think you're going to help yourself, it's like you're getting mugged by your own house in real time. I've realised it's a sad state of affairs that my slow cooker is currently on a better hourly rate than I am, which is The governor of the Bank of England as well, he did that speech where he tried to calm down the nation. He gave a really measured statement where he used phrases like apocalyptic surge. And he said that he'd run out of horsemen. He might as well have just took his top off and said, look, guys, we're about 3 weeks away from this going full Mad Max.
Also, it shows the extent of the fuel crisis if the governor of the Bank of England has not only run out of fuel for his car, but also his horses. So, Susie, home or home?
Oh, home, please, Andy.
OK, last weekend, a man from Kinross in Scotland broke the world record for the longest what? And if you're thinking that at home, you have only yourself to blame. It's not that kind of show.
So this chap spent 36 hours on a swing?
Correct.
Apparently his kids also broke the world record for the longest time standing around for some dickhead to get off the swing. I think it's a bit heartwarming, though. This story is a bit heartwarming because it's like it was his lifelong ambition, and I think that's a really good message to his children. Don't dream big, just dream realistic. That's what you want. It's quite nice in this world.
If you're 51 in Scotland, that's more than a lifelong ambition.
Who is not happy about being trussed up?
Would that, Andy, be Liz Truss talking about the Northern Ireland Agreement, which the government has decided to not honour?
Yes.
The one thing I did read, which was staggering, really, like the Marks and Spencer's chairman said that the current protocol is costing about 30 million. There's 700 pages of legislation which take 8 hours, right? And they said every ingredient needs a certificate, and some of them are in Latin. So right now, at this very moment, there's probably an egg and cress sandwich crossing the border, which has more paperwork to its name than the person who's going to eat it, which is unreal.
It's the fact that some of the paperwork's in Latin, that's what's really upsetting the DUP. That's tipping them over the edge. Latin, it's the papacy.
A couple in India are suing their own son because he has not done what for them?
I'm not going to try to be clever about this. I'm just going to read out what the couple have done. A couple in the North Indian state of Uttarakhand are suing their only son and his wife for not giving them a grandchild after 6 years of marriage.
It's an interesting, because they're moaning about the money they've spent, but I think they've still got a better deal than if they had grandkids. Because just ask my mum and dad. If you rang my mum and dad and said, that biscuit cupboard, that's where their my inheritance is in that biscuit cupboard. I know it is. There's new stuff every week. It's unbelievable.
Look, Scott, I think the father seems like quite a reasonable man. He was quoted in a newspaper saying, my son is useless.
Which famous clown is leaving which massive circus.
It's Ronald McDonald and Russia, isn't it? That?
Correct, yes. Well done, Scott. That is the correct answer.
I think what's interesting is McDonald's are obviously leaving Russia, and there's quite a lot of brands who've done this recently. I think they should stay, though, because I think that's the best way we can help Ukraine win the war. You know, supersize every meal, increase the salt on those fries, and give them opponents who are a bit overweight, sluggish, you know, and can't go into battle without having a hip flask of Gaviscon. I think they'd walk it then. But I think they'll have to do their own versions of these fast food places, Russia. You know, like the ones you see them that are like sail close to a copyright law, but not quite. You know, so you'll have stuff like, you know, McPutin's, or you'll have like Zarbucks will be another one. And here's a personal favourite of mine, which I reckon this could take off, Vladimama's, which I think is a